So let's go ahead and start building the views for this particular serializer right away. So the very first thing which you need to do is that you need to go to the views.py of your movies app, and in here you need to go ahead and import something which is called as a view set from REST framework. So you need to type in from REST_framework import view sets, and also you need to go ahead and import the movie serializer which we have just created. So you need to import that as well, and that's actually present in the serializers.py file. So we'll type in from.serializers import, that's going to be movie serializer. And we also need to import the model as well, which is movie data. So we'll actually go ahead and type in from dot models import, that's going to be movie data. Okay, so once we have these imports, we can now go ahead and simply create a class-based view for this particular serializer. So I'll type in class, and let's name this view as movie view set, and this is going to be view sets dot model view set. And now it simply needs to have a query set and a serializer class. So I'll type in query set, and for the query set we'll actually query the model, which is nothing but the movie data model. So I'll type in movie data dot objects dot all, and then I'll just go ahead and have a serializer class over here. So I'll type in serializer class is going to be nothing but the serializer which we have just created, which is the movie serializer. So I can just copy that and paste it up over here. Okay, so once we are done with this, that's pretty much it. We do have a view for our serializer right now. Now our next job is to actually go ahead and set up a URL pattern for this particular view. So now let's go ahead and set up the URLs pattern for this. So let me just go ahead, go to urls.py, and in here the very first thing which you need to do is that you need to import include. And after that, instead of creating the URLs in a regular way, what we need to do here is that as we are using the Django REST framework, we need to go ahead and import something which is called as routers. So we have something which is called as routers, which actually allows us to create routes for our APIs. So let's go ahead and type in from REST framework import, that's going to be routers. And now what we do is that we also import the movie view set as well. So we'll type in from movies dot views import, that's going to be movie view set. So once we have this view, let's go ahead and create a route. So in order to create a route, we'll go ahead and use the routers which we have just imported. So we'll type in router equals routers, which is this routers right here, and the router which we'll be using for now is going to be a default router. So once we have this default router with us, we are now going to register the view, which is nothing but the movie view set. So let me just copy that, and in here we will type in router.register, that's going to be a path here. So we want to add a path for the movies API as movies itself, and then we'll actually go ahead, give a comma, and paste that view over here. So once we go ahead, do that, we are pretty much good to go. And now the only thing which remains is that we simply need to go ahead and include this URL over here in the URL pattern. So I can type in path, I can keep this thing as empty, and I can type in include and just include the router.urls which we have just created. So it's going to be router.urls, and give a comma at the end. And once we are done with this, we are pretty much good to go. So now let's go ahead and see if this app actually works. So what I will do for now is that I'll just go ahead and open up the terminal, and the server is already up and running. So now if we go to /movies as you can see now we have this API over here. So you can see we already have this data over here, which is we have the ID as 1, we have the name as my movie, we have the duration and rating as well. And if you scroll down a little bit, as you can see we also have a form over here to submit data. So let's go ahead and try to add another movie over here. So let's say the new movie is my new movie. Let's say the duration is of 3 hours. Let's say the rating is 4.5. So when we go ahead and click post, as you can see now we have this new movie added up over here, which is called as my new movie. And if you again go over here to movies and hit refresh, as you can see now instead of one movie we have 2 movies here in a JSON format, which means now our API works successfully. So that's how simple it is to actually go ahead and create a simple API using Django REST framework for any particular Django application. So in the upcoming lectures, we will learn about a few more features of the Django REST framework. But for now, let's actually go ahead and revise what we have done in this particular lecture. So in the previous lecture, we had already created this particular serializer, and now we actually wanted a view for this particular serializer. So we first went ahead, we imported a few things. We had imported view sets from REST framework because we actually need those view sets to inherit in this particular class because we needed a model view set. Then we have imported the serializer itself, which we have created right over here. We have imported this particular model as well, which is our movie data model. And then we have simply created a view, which is nothing but a class-based view by typing in class movie view set. So movie view set here is the name of our view. We have inherited from viewsets.model view set. Then we have basically made a query set over here, and we have queried the movie data model. And after querying the model, we have also added a serializer class over here, which is nothing but movie serializer. And once we were done with that, we actually went ahead and we created a URL pattern for this particular view. So in order to create that, we have used something which is called as routers, which we have also imported from the REST framework. And using this routers, we have used the default router to create our actual router, and we have registered the movie view set into that router. Now once this was registered, we have simply included router.urls over here in the URL patterns, so that whenever we go ahead and type in /movies, we should actually get the movie API. So that's it for this lecture, and in the upcoming lecture we are going to learn something about API endpoints. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.